After I built my PC in 2021, I got 100% achievements on 29 different games on Steam. Today, we're going to be ranking them all from S to D tier based on my enjoyment of the game, as well as how tedious the achievements were to go collect. To start, we're going to go with Elden Ring here, and I'm going to be putting this game in A tier. While I thought it was a really good game, it was fairly straightforward from an achievement perspective. It was literally just kill all the bosses, as well as make sure you collect all legendary armaments and a few other things that weren't too bad, other than the missable story stuff. Some of that it definitely like skewed. You couldn't go too far without getting a save and then finishing all the other endings. Next one here, Firewatch. So obviously two very different games here. One of them is a more in-depth game, and then Firewatch is just it's basically like a walking simulator. That being said, for what it was, I think it was an awesome game. It's very intriguing story, and you could definitely complete it in one night. So if you're looking for a palate cleanser or just a quick burn, Firewatch is definitely a solid game. I am gonna put it into B tier just because I didn't think that it had enough substance to get A or S. But honestly, like a phenomenal game otherwise. For Dave the Diver here, this is going in S tier, bar none. I did play this on my PC, not my Steam Deck. The only achievement that was really tedious with Dave the Diver for myself was something about like feeding the cat 25 times or something. I ended up completing everything and I missed this achievement, so I had to like play like 10 extra days just to sorry, 10 extra in-game days just to be completing it. But honestly, like if I had paid a little bit more attention, I would have had it sooner. And it was just a very enjoyable game from start to finish. We're gonna go with Brotato next. I'm gonna put this into B tier as well. Not because Brotato is a bad game at all. Honestly, like perfect Steam Deck game. But just like it forced me to play with characters that I didn't really care about or wanted to play. And it wasn't too difficult for me to do that. It just took time. I think there's close to 160 achievements in this game. Uh, but you know what? For what it is, again, perfect Steam Deck game. I'm gonna give it a B tier. Just to be clear, B isn't what I would rate as like bad. It's honestly just like not good enough to be in a top tier game or just below that. For Stray, while enjoyable, it did have collectibles that were missable as well as a speedrunning achievement. I'm gonna put it into C tier. I thought it was just okay. I don't really need to expand too far on that. Pacific Drive here, I'm gonna put this into it's gonna be B or A, and I'm not too sure. I'm gonna put it into A tier. The reason why I have Pacific Drive into A tier is because it's so unique. I've never really played a game that you basically are the car. And yeah, it's got a weird level of horror to it that I really enjoyed. And I would advise anybody who hasn't played this game. I know it's not a super common or popular game. I really did think it was enjoyable. BioShock is going in S tier. One of the most interesting stories. I just recently finished this one and I'm very happy I did. I'm playing the second one right now as well. Just allowing yourself to get immersed into this game. It kind of takes single player to another level. It's not too long. I believe I got 100% in 30-ish hours or so. Uh, Definitely some of the collectibles were a little bit tedious, but I did just do an extra run on easy to make sure I got all those. For Uncharted, this is the I forget it's the one with 3 remasters in it. I'm gonna put it into A tier. Again, probably my favorite video game series of all time. But the collectibles were just a little bit tedious for on the achievement side of things, but otherwise very good. I think I got all games done in about 120 hours. For Peak, also gonna go in A tier. This is a multiplayer game, just in case anybody doesn't know. Basically, you have to climb to the top of a mountain in 4 different biomes, I believe, and there's lots of achievements that require you to coordinate with friends, and I mean, my entire friend group played it, so we had 4 people going for it. Um, Believe it took me about 60 hours to finish Peak. Sons of the Forest is going in D tier. Honestly, one of the biggest letdowns of a games for me. Um, I know that this game had a ton of hype when it released, just based on the success of the original Forest. And Yeah, I found the building really not great. There was a ton of tedious achievements. Uh, I remember having to dig 1,000 holes and cut 1,000 logs for, like, probably 10 hours after I finished this game, because honestly, like, you never really had to build in this game to have success, and, I ended up completing the entire game solo because the game wasn't good enough to keep my friends playing it, so I just did it solo, and I really didn't build outside of, like, a very basic square to make it through the night, but honestly, like, not a good game at all. Didn't enjoy it. I think the atmosphere is definitely enjoyable, but the story, like, there was just very little story. There was no dialogue or very little dialogue through the entirety of it. Dredge is also gonna be going in S tier, not because I think it's a better game than Elden Ring, but because for what it is, it's perfect. It's got this weird it's a psychological horror game. I really enjoy games that have fishing in them, as you can see with, Dave the Diver and Dredge, and I'm gonna move this over to go ahead of all of games as well. I think it's the best game I've so far played, and, I did play it on my PC, and I would play it again. I was very excited when they announced the DLC, which I also completed. God of War is going in A tier between Elden Ring and Pacific Drive. Um, honestly, this is 2018 version. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoy, like, the Norse world, and, yeah, a very intriguing story. I do need to play the second one, so that's on my list to complete. Vermintide, um, is gonna go in C tier. Honestly, like, tedious. It's definitely tedious to play as all the different characters, rank them all up to level 30. I did play it with friends a few times, and, like, you have a friend who just prefers a certain build, so he never gets off that character, so you're stuck not playing that character. So that's all good, but honestly, like, for what it is, if you only have an hour to play with friends, uh, it's not a bad game to pick up, but not bad. I am gonna put it as the, first in C tier. Boxes, honestly, like, I use this as a palate cleanser between 2 other big games, and I'm not gonna knock it down because of that. I'm gonna put it into C tier as well. Um, I'm gonna put it at the end there just because, like, it is what it is, right? Like, you could complete it in 3 hours, not too much depth, you just have to solve some puzzles. Metal Hellsinger, so what this is, it's a rhythmic game. You have to shoot and you get like a multiplayer based on the beat of the music that you're listening to. Honestly, really cool concept. I've never played one before. It was fairly difficult to be honest, just because like I'm brand new to that genre. Um, so I thought it was actually like pretty good. Probably wouldn't play it again. I know that there's a ton of DLC. You can get lots of different songs to play, but yeah, it was okay. Hades is going in S tier, and I'm gonna put it as the top in S tier as well. I don't really need to explain Hades. You all know about Hades. If you enjoy Greek mythology, you'll love this game. If you enjoy challenging games, you'll love this game. If you enjoy making a little bit of progress but never actually winning, you'll love that game. I'm really excited for the second one. I'm gonna play it on my Steam Deck as well once I tidy up my backlog a little bit. Tales from the Borderlands. It's okay. I was just looking for a palate cleanser, a game that I knew didn't have any missable achievements. Just something that can shut my brain off. And if you'll notice, I completed all Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, so this was just something to complement that. I'll put it in C tier. Like, it was okay. I don't think it's the best of the Telltale games. So, yeah. Grounded, I'm gonna put in if I was just rating the game, it would be an S tier. Honestly, like, I love Grounded. I think it's from a survival crafter perspective, it really has a lot going for it. The fighting felt fluid. There was a skill aspect when it came to parrying. Um, realistically, you could defeat any bug with your base level stats or your base level gear, just because of the perfect parry mechanic. And I love that. I think games that invoke skill are awesome. The reason why I knock it down is it definitely had a lot of collectible achievements, some missable stuff in there. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna put it in A tier. I'm also very excited for the second one of this. I haven't even started it yet. What I found with this game is even when it, even when it released on Xbox, it really didn't have a lot going for it. But once you let it kind of get a whole bunch of updates out, it all of a sudden it's like, oh, like there's a full game here in it. I believe I played it for 180 hours or something. I've played it a few different times with a few different friends. Borderlands, again, one of the better games of my time. I'm not going to put it above Uncharted. That being said, I enjoyed Borderlands 2 more than I did Borderlands 1. So I'm going to make sure that this list reflects that. Um, so we're going to put it right there. I mean, the comedy in both of the games is just hilarious. I think it's one of the better video game series of all time. For Borderlands 3, enjoyed it much less than the first two. I thought, it overstayed its welcome at this point for me. So my preferred is Borderlands 2, then Borderlands 1, and then a pretty big gap in Borderlands 3. While we're here, I'm going to go with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Actually enjoyed it more than Borderlands 3, so I'm going to put it right there. Um, Honestly, like, this was a nice change of pace from the original Borderlands. I remember having to grind a lot of RNG specific uh, achievements in this game, as well as one of the achievements you have to like have a boatload of money, and if you're playing legitimately, if it probably took a really long time. I think I ended up doing like a duplicate glitch or something just to get it. Maneater, I'm gonna put down in D tier. Uh, while ridiculous and funny, it was basically just like go to this biome, check off these boxes, and just repeat that for like 4 or 5 biomes. It was okay. It took me about 25 hours to complete. I think I did it in 2 weekends. Definitely used as a palate cleanser game. Um, Unique enough, so it had that going for it. That being said, it is going to be in D tier. Evo West, basically, I view this game as the definition of a double A game. It's just over the top and ridiculous. I think I got it from a Humble Bundle, and I didn't regret playing it, but it also overstayed its welcome for me. I think it took me about 40 hours to complete, so it's going to be right in the middle of C tier. Helldivers 2, honestly, peak multiplayer gameplay if you're just looking to shoot a whole bunch of stuff and probably have some hilarious deaths in it. The achievements felt very natural. I didn't have to force myself to like go out of my way to get them outside of a few very select ones. So it's going to go right at the top of B tier just because it's not unique enough in a sense to really bump it up. Horizon Zero Dawn. Um, I need to think about this one. It's an open world game, not in the sense of Elden Ring. There's definitely a lot more guidance than Elden Ring and God of War. But for what it is, I'm going to put it way at the back of A tier. I definitely, if I'm looking at this, I prefer a game like Elden Ring, God of War, or Uncharted than I do Horizon. That being said, it is a very cool world, very unique in the way that your enemies were robots. It was challenging enough. I remember some of the hunter's challenges that I just really had a hard time with. Kina is going to go second to Hades. Played this on my PC. It was one of the despite the look of the game, it was one of the more challenging games that I've played. I remember being very satisfied when I finally beat the game on master difficulty. I did do the cheese or the glitch that I don't know how it works, but I guess you didn't actually have to complete it on master to get the achievement, but I ended up doing it legit. I heard there's a second one coming out soon, so I'm really excited for that. Really good story on this game. Very unique when it came to the little people sitting on her shoulder there. Yeah, really good. Warhammer Bolt Gun. Got it from a humble bundle, so it wasn't my type of game. So I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I would say just in between these two at the bottom. It was okay for a boomer shooter. Um, Honestly, I would just prefer to play something like Doom. That being said, it was definitely cool because I was playing, Space Marine 2 with friends, and then I mixed in this game, and it was, like, cool to see how the enemies were the same, just in a much different setting. So that was cool, but nothing to really talk about. I know that the secrets were really annoying. I basically just followed a video guide and played alongside it, and, yeah, it took me maybe about 3 or 4 weekends of playing pretty consistently to finish this one. And for the final game, we've got On Guard. Honestly, like, very solid. Uh, it was a it's a game where you have to find, like, the perfect parry, moment. It's very simple combat. You've got 3 buttons and, only 1 weapon. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's lots of unique challenges and stuff that made me try the game in a different way, so I thought that was cool. I'm gonna put it in B tier just between Helldivers 2 and Firewatch. Honestly, really enjoyed it. Would probably play like a sequel or something if they had it, and I'm looking for more types of games like this where it's like a little bit of platforming, but some combat that forces you to honestly just like play the fight scene out like 4 or 5 times just to really get good at it. There's one achievement in this game that forced you to basically be perfect, which is just like, don't take a single hit of damage and complete the level. So yeah, I had to play a few levels a few times to get that. But that's all I got. Some of the other games that I'm really looking forward to adding to this list here is going to be BioShock 2 Remastered as well as BioShock Infinite. So I'm currently working on this game. I'm only about 6 hours in so far. KCD2, I know I did a video on this before. I haven't played since then, but I'm really looking forward to doing it. Um, so that Icarus would be like a little bit of a bigger game. Like I've got 76 hours and only 5% achievements. They only added a lot of these achievements about halfway through me playing it. So I've got a lot of work to do. I really do want to get to it. In terms of multiplayer or co-op games, Elden Ring Night Rain is definitely on my hit list to get out. I've got 21 out of 37 here. I just yeah, we've got to get back to playing it. We kind of hit a wall last time we played it. On my Steam Deck, I'm really looking forward to playing Deep Rock Survivor some more. I played a lot, but I got 225 out of 300 achievements. So lots of work to do there to finish that out. That being said, it is fairly straightforward. It's like literally just use the weapons, um, kill a whole bunch of stuff, complete dives. Like it's like fairly simple. So yeah, I'm just playing it a few runs before bed. In my break category here, I after I clean up some of these games here, I really want to start focusing on Deep Rock Galactic. Honestly, like I just want friends to play with this game. Uh, so yeah, got to get that going. I think the Master Chief Collection is a great way to get my overall Steam completion up. Right now, I am at 57%, and my goal is to get that to 65 as soon as possible. Call of the Wild here is another game that's got a ton of achievements, so I know that I can knock out a whole bunch of those. And then in my not started category, some games that I'm really looking forward to playing here. Obviously, BioShock Infinite, spoke about that already. Playing the pre-sequel for Borderlands, and then eventually buying Borderlands 4 to play that would be on my hit list. I wouldn't mind getting into Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, but those are going to be some bigger projects that I'm waiting for after KCD2 to start. And then, yeah, like there's obviously some easy games here, like The Room 1 through 4. Wouldn't mind doing that. And then Sekiro is another game that I really want to focus on before the end of 2026. Small Lands here, I believe I picked this up in a Humble Bundle. I know it's somewhat similar to Grounded, so I think I would enjoy it. Probably play it with a friend. So whenever I have a friend that wants to get into a game, we'll probably play that. And as I'm scrolling through here, yeah, like there's nothing that I'm really uber looking forward to other than what I've already mentioned. I wouldn't mind playing the Hunt Showdown with some friends. I think I mean, it's a game that's probably hard to get into at this time, but I've never played it. So maybe one day, one of these weekends, I'll get into it. All right. So that's all I got. I hope everybody enjoyed. Comment if you finished any of these games and if you know, disagree with where I put them, definitely drop your reasoning. I'd be glad to hear it. I do feel fairly confident right now, but I know that that'll probably change before I actually finish editing this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow me along my journey of cleaning up my backlog, as well as some other videos that are mostly based around gaming. See y'all later.